This call is being recorded.
Welcome to the artwork of CP everyone, and my first programming announcement is I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus off the cup of win because of, well, mainly because of construction. My house, once I get down to my house, it's going to be a construction zone, and there's going to be a lot of moving pieces, and moving pieces don't involve podcasting. So I unfortunately I'm going to try and batch record as much as I can for the a winning cup, and I'm going to try and batch record for winning cup. So and yes, it's completely transferred. It's completely transferred to a winning cup, and because it's been brought to my attention that basically what's going, and I'll explain this to you guys once I'm down there, and once, quite frankly, I need to be blunt. Once everyone leaves me alone, I can basically do work again on podcast, but for the month of March and April, March and April we're not going to be doing the podcast. We're going to be doing batch recordings, and we're not going to be necessarily on mic all the time because it's a construction zone, and that's why I'm not leaving next week. Ay, 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 ay. It's construct. That's why I'm not leaving next week. They pushed me back 2 weeks, 10 days, 10 days. I've been told, because they want to make my bathroom completely handicapped accessible due to they accidentally, and I say accidentally, stuck a tub in my bathroom, which I can't use. And so they're kind of pulling it out, and it's a mess. It's a mess. So and I have to go down there and manage that mess semi. So during that mess, I can't do podcasting. But because of that mess, which leads me into my next thing, um, I am fully vaccinated for COVID, and I am fully vaccinated for COVID. Thank you, by the way, for those of you that were checking in on me yesterday. Um, the reason why you didn't see me online is because I felt like I've been run over by Mac truck. I still do. I'm at 90%, whereas 60 I whereas yesterday I could barely move. But what, and then I was going to stick this in the show notes. What I've been told is, um, okay, we get those cards. We get those cards that said we all been vaccinated for COVID. I This is my understanding. And the reason why they don't want you, even though I don't know why they do this, even though they say save it in your phone, they don't want you posting it on social media because of the hackers and because of that. Now on Instagram, they actually did a really cool, really cool thing. They actually, because it was about COVID and Instagram could tell it was about COVID. They put underneath my post, underneath all my posts actually, because I did it once and um, syndicated it to several accounts. And they put, because your post is about coronavirus, we want to put more information under. Now, I'm getting mixed messages on, okay, the hackers don't mind the you don't want to post sensitive information on Facebook. But that's fine. That's fine. But Brennan, everyone knows everyone's birthday on Facebook. They may not know the year, but they certainly know everyone's birth date because they um, Facebook has to validate it to see if you're above 18 or not. And then this is what drives me nuts. Actually, this is what drives me nuts. And I still have the card in my wallet too, just in case anyone asks me for it. But okay, they say don't post a card on social media. Well, one, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing it. Those of us who got vaccinated. So I don't know who said don't post a card on social media. Everyone's doing it, and they don't want the hackers doing it. But the thing that really gets me is they say save it to your phone. Well, hello, what if you lose your phone or or God forbid you lose your whole entire wallet? That that has your state ID, that has your, well, in my case, my state ID, and that will have my insurance card, my vehicle insurance card, because unfortunately I won't be leaving my my vehicle insurance card in a parking lot in Phoenix, Arizona. I will be sticking it in my wallet due to everyone else is driving my car due to it's a handicapped accessible van. So when you think about it, um, I understand they don't want the hackers seeing your birthday. But at the same time, all these social media, and I'm coming from a journalist point of view, not a wind cerebral palsy point of view in the least, but I am, all these social media, they have to verify your birthday. So, hello? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I had a um a friend of mine literally get mad at two people, and I was involved. The other one was a little bit shocked too. And she goes, take that off Facebook right now. The cops will come and get you. And if they see it. And I'm like, hello? You gotta understand that all these social media platforms use your birth date to validate whether it's you and your legal age to use them. And the only one I the only one I know of that doesn't is Clubhouse. And so why And I think that person was trying to rain on my parade, basically. And why they I understand why they say that. I understand why, because it's a medical situation. I understand why they say that. And then I understand why these social media platforms are trying to spread the word about COVID. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, social media has kept us all together in the last year. And I say this because I have friends across the country, and friends have been checking in on me because they know I have CP and they know I have different disabilities and I need help. So social media has kept us all together in the past year. And this, don't talk to strangers on social media, don't do this on social media, drives me bananas, drives me bananas because the citizen journalists think that, okay, they can do whatever they want. And then it helps the journalist, it helps a journalist like myself, even though I'm finishing up a journalism degree, I'm considered a journalist by now. But it helps a journalist like myself figure out the story, figure out the angle of the story. And so I it drives me nuts that now um the headlines are out there saying don't post a con on social media, but save it in your phone. Hello? How about save it in your wallet? How about put it in your safety deposit box when you get to a designated place that you can't? Hello? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in my brain. It does not make sense. Now I understand that hackers could get um could get your birthday and do identity theft. They could also get your social security number because of tax documents. So where are we going with this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I've been told, and because I can't hide numbers, I've been, and everyone knows my birthday year due to they help me fill out paperwork. Hello, you sometimes need to tell people your birthday year because you have a problem filling out paperwork. So, yeah, even though they say the cops don't like it because it's hackers, if you are lucky enough to get vaccinated, I almost said to get COVID, but if you are lucky enough to get vaccinated, have a little celebration. We're getting back to normal life. Hello? We're getting back to normal life. Now, granted, I still have to wear a mask, and it's up to the provider to be wearing a mask, and I'm so sick of that terminology. It's up to the provider. It's up to the provider. I'm so sick of that terminology, and that's another long story in itself. Why? Um, but I just feel like that white card that says when got vaccinated with the COVID vaccine is a celebration card. Quite frankly, it's not. And yes, it has my birthday on it. But quite frankly, I feel like the whole white card is a celebration card. And we didn't throw in a towel. We didn't throw in a white towel and fall off the face of the planet. we all throwing in the towel when you don't want to do something anymore. We all survived COVID. And now we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is coming from a person who spent yesterday, who only got vaccinated on March 8th and spent March 9th in bed. So, hello, you need to use that card in celebration. I don't care if, well, I do care, but in a sense, I don't care because you need to use that card in celebration. And I know that some people are not going to get the vaccine. Some people choose not to. That's fine. But those of us that do, don't rain on our parade, please. Don't rain on our parade. I mean, everything shifted last year. Everything shifted last year to Zoom meetings. I could barely see my BFF, who's sitting on the other end of this phone call. She's acting really quiet because she's letting me go on the soapbox. But I could barely see my BFF on her actual birthday. And now next year will be different. When she has a 30th, I might be flying home for that 30th. I don't know yet, but next year is going to be completely different. I, on the other hand, for my 32nd birthday, had to have, let's see, my stepmom, my my stepmom, myself, my aunt, and my aide, and a best friend of mine who's been integral in my life over for my birthday. I cannot go out to lunch on my birthday. This whole year has 2020 has changed the way we look at business, has changed the way we look at schooling, has changed the way we look at interviewing people, has changed the way we produce content, has changed all of it. And so when you see the white card pop up to say one Moderna, two Moderna, one Pfizer, two Pfizer, one Johnson and Johnson, say congratulations and don't rain on anyone's parade. And I'm sorry, but some of us can't cover the birth date, and social media has brought and kept all of us together. Thank you very much. I am done with my soapbox. I am done speaking, as they say on Clubhouse, but I am done with my soapbox. And so I leave it to you guys to figure out what you want to do with that white card. But when you get the COVID shot, they say that they say save it in your phone. Also, save it in your wallet. And I have it in my wallet. My other medical wallet is being thrown out, but it's also being sold. But I have it in my medical. I have it in my wallet. I will transfer it to as soon as I get a desk down in Arizona. I will transfer it to a drawer in my desk where I know where it is, just in case anyone asks me, because these times are so wonky. But I wanted to say a huge thank you to Health and Human Services out um, out here in Aspen, Colorado. I swear, I think the Health and Human Services, as much as I called them over the past couple months, because I didn't tell you guys this, but I started calling them when I was in the hotel room getting my boiler fixed, I started the hunt for a COVID vaccine in a hotel room back in January, and then it turned into a interesting show. You can put the word that I was thinking of instead of interesting in that in place of interesting. It turned into a little bit of an interesting show because when I first got the notifications that the COVID shot was coming, I actually called my doctor and I said, "Well, what do I do? Do I go through you guys or do I go um, through Pickton County Health and Human Services?" And they go, "We don't know. We've been told to go through your county." And then it got to the point where other people were getting vaccinated around me. And so I got that phone call. I'm like, okay, I'll go through my county. And so then I called my county. And this was back in January also. And I'm like, okay, what do we do? They go, we don't know. We'll wait. We'll give you a call when we have more information. And then they give me a call and then they make me sign up for um to be on the wait list. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a wild goose chase, isn't it? And then and then I'm like, okay. So I am waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, it got to the point where people were getting vaccinated around me, and then they were saying, "Well, when? Why aren't you getting vaccinated? You have underlying conditions. You should be first priority." And I'm like, "You think? You think?" And so then people people in my network tried to give me, which didn't work, tried to give up their COVID shots for me. That didn't work. That didn't work. And so then, when when last, today's Tuesday, so it would have been a week ago Tuesday. Now, granted, I'm in Colorado, soon to be in Arizona. I don't know how this, how the rest of this all is working. But I do know that the COVID vaccine is going to become public this summer. Now, that could change 1,000 miles. That could change 1,000 miles a minute. So by the time last Wednesday came, I got an email at 7 o'clock in the morning saying, "You got to jump on this now." And it's like, okay. So of course I'm on my phone. And of course when I click on it at 8 o'clock, they go, "You're too early, you're too early, you're too early." I finally had a person who knows me, who knows that this was really important to me because without the COVID shot, I wasn't there was no way on God's green earth that I was going to Arizona. No way. No way, no how. And so a person that knows me and she came at 10 a.m. last Wednesday and put me on the list. And then by the time Sunday came, by the time Sunday, um, March 7th came, I was ready to go. And the only reason why I was able to get it is because number one, they de decreased the dose, and I was able to get it. Two comorbid two comorbidities were able to get it. Number number two, that Johnson and Johnson, they shipped, I believe, 1,500 doses of the Johnson and Johnson vaccine here. And what was cool about the Johnson and Johnson is it's only one shot, whereas Moderna and Pfizer are two shots. So they said, I've been told that because, well, I've been told with Moderna, you feel perfectly fine on round one. On round two, on number two Moderna, you feel like you've been run over by a Mack truck. Now, on Pfizer, you feel perfectly fine. On round one, you're maybe a little bit sore, but that's about it. On round two, with Pfizer, you feel like you've been run over by a Mack truck. On Johnson and Johnson, which is the one I have, you feel like you've been run over by a Mack truck to begin with. And I don't know whether a Caterpillar tractor ran over me. People that know me will understand why said I don't know whether a Caterpillar tractor backed over me or what. But the reason why I say that as a joke is because my family, my family did really well in Caterpillar tractor. I don't know whether a Caterpillar tractor backs over me as a joke. Oh, because I'm like, really? I I didn't I knew this was going to happen because every time I get a flu shot, it happened to me. So I knew this was going to happen, but my goodness, I felt like I got run over by a Caterpillar tractor and run over by a Mack truck. I woke up in so much pain that I couldn't barely move to go to the bathroom. So just be careful when you get the Johnson and Johnson one. You because it's a one-time dose, and I believe it's stronger than the first dose of Moderna or the first dose of Pfizer. And I actually have acquaintance that interviewed the CEO of Pfizer, and I'm going to ask him later on today did they talked about the COVID vaccine later on today, and maybe if I'll find the video that she did, she can I'll stick it somewhere so you guys can see it. She's actually a really good interviewer too, and I'm amazed that she got to interview the CEO of Pfizer. But as soon as I find out, go looking on YouTube. I'll get it from my friend. But I am thinking that the Johnson and Johnson vaccine is much stronger than the Pfizer or the Moderna. Thank you. I can't keep these things straight in my head. Um, and said to me, people said to me in my own family, get Pfizer if you have the choice. Well, granted, I I didn't want to go through two shots for one disease. Number one, and this was back in January. They said to me, get Pfizer. And I'm like, because Pfizer has a better protection rate. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want a shot. At this point, back in January, I just wanted a shot. But you're going to have to be really, really careful with Pfizer, and you're going to have to be really care with Pfizer, with Johnson and Johnson, and you're going to have to be really careful with all three of them anyway. You're going to have to be really careful with that con anyway. But I don't care because it's not that card is not slowing in the White House, not saying I'm done with COVID. That card is actually a celebration card, as I said, and so I don't care. Now, most social media platforms are, as I said, Instagram stuck underneath my post because this is about COVID. They wanted to give people more information about COVID. Most social media platforms are well aware of what information to give about COVID, and I don't care if I stick a post up about COVID on my social media platforms because I know that the social media platform itself is either going to say win, delete this, or let us stick more information about what you're trying to say, which I let Instagram do. I let Facebook do. I also let the people that are trying to rain on my parade, and then we'll see what happens. But other than that, and when you get it, how it's going to be set up is you're going to wh- you're going it's going to be a big huge parking lot. I know in LA they actually took over Dodger Stadium for their COVID vaccines. I know where I am at, they actually took over a big parking lot. So basically, you want to be there before your appointment. You do need you do need ID. Even though you've booked a appointment, they want to make sure that the appointment is going to the correct person and people are not stealing the COVID shot. And even though someone booked it on my behalf, just because I'm not very the dexterous, I can't figure. I want things now. Patience is not my forte. They and I would have said someone booked it on my behalf, and I would have said to them that they could have spoken to the person easily on the phone if they wanted to. But you do need ID. You do need a phone number to probably a cell phone because what these states are doing now and what these states are doing after you get the COVID test is in Colorado, they'll make now I don't know what they're doing in Los Angeles, what they're doing in California, what they're doing all over the place. But in Colorado, they're making you sign up for something called V, V as in Victor, safe, be safe. And basically, what that is you register, you say you got the COVID test, and they check in with you every single day. They send you a text and they send you a real call, and then it's all done through text. And it's basically how are you feeling, what are you thinking, and then if you say I'm feeling like I've been run over by Mack truck, they will call you if they feel it necessary. Now, granted, they have thousands and thousands of volunteers doing it, and thousands and thousands of doctors doing it too. And I think that if you want to be a volunteer, I think that you should look into it. I have a friend that has medical certifications that actually volunteer out there. I didn't realize that the until I got it that they were doing the volunteer status. I didn't realize. I thought it was a doctor giving it to me, but I didn't realize that. Um, so you may wanna. That's a good outreach project that I just thought of. You may just wanna look into volunteering at a COVID shot, vaccine parking lot because in your town, because so many people are not, thanking people behind the scenes. They're thanking the frontline workers, especially the and doctors and nurses, but they forget to thank the, vaccine manufacturers. So this is what I'm going to do. See, this is how I, segue people. I want to say, and whoever listens to this from Johnson& and Johnson and Pfizer and Moderna, I want to say a huge thank you. A huge thank you, especially to Johnson& and Johnson, because what they did for me is they gave me 1 day in pain instead of 2 doses, and so, because the Johnson& and Johnson vaccine is the only, I believe, the only 1 dose COVID shot that's out there. The other 2 are, 2 doses. So I wanna thank the, heads of Pfizer and the heads of Johnson& and Johnson and the heads of Moderna, because without you guys, we would be throwing in the towel, and we would be raising the white flag. Instead, we're raising the white cause of victory, and I am one of the thousands of Americans that got it, and so we'll see what ends up happening this summer, but right now, I am completely shielded from COVID, and it's going to if I come in contact with a person with COVID, it's I have a chance of getting my other dose of COVID than without the vaccine. So I'm not completely shielded. I will still wear a mask. I thought that Arizona passed is a optional mask mandated state, but someone said to me yesterday, "No, we're not." So good thing I checked on that. But so this COVID situation and all this situation keeps changing 1,000 miles a minute. So what I would say is follow the local guidelines and let's see what happens this summer. And Danielle, do you want to say anything else other than thank you for following us?
Yeah, I happy we are in the vaccine made.
Yay! Okay,
I
I knew that. I
be
knew that
ha
she was gonna
I
say that.
want to be with the you.
What she said, what she said. I am so happy that we're in the vaccine stage because I want to be with people that I haven't seen people for a year. I just
Yeah.
seen my BFF
Oh,
for a year.
no. No.
And so you want to go. So you want to travel, and so I'm happy what she said. What she said, other than thank you for calling us. What she said, we're happy that we're finally in the vaccine stage. Took long enough. That's why I said thank you to the head of Pfizer, thank you to the head of Moderna, thank you to Johnson and Johnson, because these guys now need the credit, and thank you to all the volunteers out there across the country that are now lining up and giving people vaccinations and lining up in tents. And basically, what it is you drive up, you pull into a tent, you get the vaccine, they you pull off into a holding area. They wait to see if you have an allergic reaction. And if they're going to ask you, just if you, just like you're getting a flu shot, if you're allergic to eggs. And so if you're allergic to eggs, this vaccine is not going to work for you. But as Danielle said, we're happy to be in the vaccine stage. I am happy that I got vaccinated so I can move on with my life. And so I'm happy that people are getting vaccinated, and those who choose not to get the vaccine, that's up to them. I'm not saying either or. I'm just saying you'll have a better luck seeing people, and including me, if you get the vaccine. Although I know my pod right now is semi-vaccinated, and 2 of them are not, but I know that they've been at home, so, I don't mind if they come up and see me, but it's all about who you have been in contact with. If you trust where your, pod I'm saying, where you where your pod has been, it doesn't matter, but I strongly suggest you get the Johnson& and Johnson vaccine if you have a choice. I know, people have told me I should have gotten the Pfizer vaccine because it's a little bit more protective, but the Johnson and Johnson vaccine is one vaccine, not two, not three, not 4 gazillion vaccines. One. And so I like one. I like ease. I like one. I I'm a simpleton when it comes to vaccines. I think I've been poked and prodded too many times in my life to get 2 vaccines now, and so due to cerebral palsy, and so I would highly recommend if your county, or even if you're in an international country, if they get, if they give you the option to get the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. If you decide to get the vaccine, and yeah, I would say do it because it's easy, it's painful in the beginning, but it took me a day to get over the pain. And it's the pain as if you had a flu shot. So do it, do it, do it. And we're happy. We are happy that we're in the vaccine stage so that people can hug people again and start seeing people again. And I find it ironic that the last person that I hugged outside of COVID, the week before the lockdown, was my stepmom, and I found it ironic that she and I got a vaccine together 1 year later. I find so full circle. So then he was laughing at me for that one. Full no, I find it is full circle because the last person before, the lockdown was my mom, and I know exactly where we did it too. We did it at the Aspen Airport, and then we all went into lockdown, and that was the end of that. And so, um, and I find it ironic that my aide who actually traveled with me the week before the lockdown is back working with me temporarily until I leave. And so that I find ironic that the last person I was in public with is now working with me again. And we've been working together on and off for 4 years, and we will still remain friends. And so, talk about full circle there too. And so, I so basically, if you trust the pod, you're perfectly fine without them having being vaccinated. And then if you have the choice to get the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And as I said, and I'll say it again, thank you, Pfizer. Thank you, Moderna. Thank you, Johnson and Johnson, for making our lives just a little bit easier. And I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you guys later. I'll probably see you guys not next weekend. I'll probably, Danielle and I will have to discuss it because all depending on when I get to leave. All now, this is all dependent on when I get to leave. When you guys hear from us again, you may hear from me in Arizona, and you may hear from me here. I'll get the updates when I can, and then I'll um I'll figure out with Danielle. But there's going to be a slight transition in a winning cup, which is yay. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. And it's going to be a yay surprise, not a nay surprise. And so I'm going to leave it at that. And I would like to thank you guys for following us. And you guys have a great Tuesday. And I'm so sorry that we got delayed, but yeah, life got in the way, and when getting the vaccine definitely got in the way. And so I am alive. I'm happy. I am super happy that I am headed to Arizona, and I'll be starting a vacation and all that good stuff. So you guys may hear from me. You guys will see beautiful pictures of Phoenix, Arizona. Let me just tell you that. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, and make sure you follow me on AskWin622. And those of you that follow Winning Cup, it will be over there too. Or the Work of Jobs, it will be over there too. And then make sure you also follow if Dan if Dan can trend, you can do it too, aka Danielle. And her Instagram is Dan Can Thread. And just to keep up with Danielle and her Special Olympics stuff, which had to be adapted because of COVID, but I think we're doing well on that. And so, other than that, before I lose my voice, I want you guys to have a wonderful week, and we'll be back next week. Bye, you guys.